Welcome to my new website, Soul to Soul. My name is Wayne Marentette, and I will be your new host. Our website, Soul to Soul, is designed so that every heart-to-heart conversation that we will have will end up, or hopefully will end up, being a soul-to-soul revelation. I'd like to explain that for a moment before we continue, if I can. There are some major events going on in the world, as I'm sure you've noticed, especially in the last 10 years. With the increase in the internet, social pages opening up, I've kept a close eye on everyone that's been proceeding on the internet with spiritual interest and spiritual intent. I couldn't help but notice that as well as having hundreds of thousands of new sites come up every year, there's been a larger group of people who have tended to stick with the internet, stick with their site, evolve it, and grow it. And I noticed that one of the trends that was happening with them was that they were a non-biased, mostly objective channel where you could have conversation with people, or at least heart-to-heart conversation with people, and you could get some spiritual value from it. My intention for starting this site was to produce just that, an opportunity for people to come to a safe space, an opportunity for them to communicate their ideas, their insights, and their inspirations, regardless of what their belief is. Now, I'll say at this point that this is not about religion, but this is about spiritual development, the process, the progress, and the development of the soul in our human lifetime. You may have noticed in the last 10 years that there are a lot of pages talking about the event, many things that are transpiring in our lives right now of a spiritual nature. Well, I've been watching it long enough to realize that it was time for me to get on board about 3 years ago. Because as I was watching these channels grow, some would fall, some would do better, some would be stabilized in spite of the trolls and continue on with a great message. And I was seeing a lot of benefit from it. But I also noticed that there was a key that almost in every channel, there were limitations that people came to because there was no new or fresh information or fresh inspiration coming from other sources. And at sitting at home, I kept thinking to myself, can I do this? Can I do this? Yes, I can do this. I did this before when the internet first started, when it first took half an hour to download a single page. I started a social group where we would chat back and forth and share spiritual ideas. Well, I've gone through a lot of progression myself over the years, 68 in fact, and in the last 40 years, I had an incident that gave me a very great opportunity to seize on a moment in time and an experience in time that was a catalyst for the remainder of my life. I'd like to share that with you now before we begin. But again, this channel is about coming together, having direct communication, openly, unbiasedly, and objectively, meaning it won't be critical, there'll be no judgment. We're just going to leave out the belief system.